This is a 2-year project. I believe we started it in March, and we have to get this bridge done by January at the latest and get traffic on top of it in order to take full advantage of the small window we have when we can get back in the river and do the work we need to do to drill caissons, put in shoring, de-water it, and get the other piers started so that we have a chance of finishing next year. We believe we will, but it's been a challenge. It's probably one of the most difficult jobs we've ever undertaken. But then that's kind of our stock in trade. We do every hard job the department has because we feel it makes us a better contractor and makes us uniquely qualified for bigger projects that come down the pike. Right now we're just beginning in earnest the cantilever construction. We experienced quite a bit of difficulty drilling the caissons. Normally a caisson that's 160 foot deep in stone would you expect not to have to case it full depth. That's an effort on its own. It's impossible to pull casing out with a conventional drilling equipment much over about 60-80 feet. And that condition was unexpected here, and it cost us probably 9 weeks that we've been fighting to make up on the schedule. To battle it, we had to bring out a special drill rig called an oscillator that essentially twists the casing in pieces all the way down 160 feet. And then when we pour it, it has to twist them back out because those casings are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and you simply can't afford to leave them in place. And they actually have drill teeth on them. So that put us behind a little more than we wanted, but currently we think we're about 16 days behind schedule. Now we're working 7 days a week, 30 days a month, with about 50 men, and within another 10 days we'll probably have another 10 men here because it's crucial for us to advance both of these travelers every week, making 2 pours per pier per week to get this done by the end of this year so that we can then put traffic on this bridge, tear the old bridge down, and start building the northbound structure where that's at, given the small windows we have to actually get in the river. So from here on out, it's going to be pretty interesting. You should see these piers growing as the cantilever system goes out each week, and the closer they get to the middle, the closer they get to the end. For me anyway, the more exciting it is. And you just hope, like I said, that they meet when they get to the middle. Well, in order simply to build this first bridge, we had to build a 400-foot temporary trestle, which is the first element of work you probably saw started this spring. And we had 4 weeks to do it in. We had to design it, build it, and get it in place before our window ran out and we were no longer allowed in the river. So we had to design a timber and steel trestle using steel piling and wood timbers, and it had to be capable of carrying 250,000 pounds live load. And it's a $600,000 bridge on its own. And then from there you simply have to go put cofferdams around those piers, seal them off, and you're driving sheet pile into solid stone trying to seal that off. And anytime you're dealing with the Colorado River, you have to have a healthy respect for Mother Nature. Eventually you'll have 2 identical structures, 40 feet wide, carrying, I believe, 2 lanes southbound, 2 lanes northbound, with some shoulders that are wide enough to potentially accommodate a 3rd lane. They each have a total span length of 1,122 lineal feet. They're 3-span structures with an abutment on each end and 2 piers located about 300 feet from either abutment. The foundations are comprised of 4 7-foot diameter caissons, 160 feet deep, through varying lenses of stone, silt, sand, more stone, till we get down to the bottom on top of which we put a 34-foot square, 7-foot thick bent footing. From there we have to build a bent column that you see here in the background, and then on top of that what's called a pier table. That pier table is the basis from which we start the cantilever construction. We then take the formed traveler systems, which are capable of advancing a 15-foot section at a time on either side with a complete formwork system in them. We pour 15 feet one side, we then pour 15 feet on the other side, and then we post-tension those pieces together so it's a solid mass on top of the pier table before we continue to do the same going either way. And the same process happens on the other side. These traveler systems were designed in Norway. They were built in Singapore, and there's over $1 million worth of traveler systems here. There's 2 pairs because we felt the schedule for this project required that we get on it as fast as we can. We have a very short duration that we can actually be in the river stirring things up, and that's, I believe, from August to March. And there's only certain areas of the river we can be in even at that because we have boat traffic over on the north side of the river. So we have to make sure that our work completes in time for us to get back in the river and tear out the old bridge. Wadsworth Brothers Construction is 18 years old. We started in the heavy highway business as a division of Ralph Wadsworth. I left from there, started Wadsworth Brothers, and we do probably more bridges than anybody here in the state. In our vertical division, we do more parking garages and building frames than anybody else. So in these 18 years since we've started, we've grown from a pretty small company to a medium-sized company. I wouldn't say large, but we're trying to get our feet wet in the area we can and make some headway. We did the last steel arch bridge in the state. We've done the only cable stay bridge in this state at the University of Utah. We were first in doing accelerated bridge construction with the Lego bridges in Salt Lake City. We've done the largest full-depth slab replacements in the state on I-84 up by Mountain Green, and we've done the fastest bridge replacement as far as we know in the world, certainly in North America, on I-80 at Pardees Canyon up at Lambs and Mountain Dell. So we didn't feel like we could let anybody else do this bridge and let what we believe is our reputation as a preeminent bridge contractor in the state ever be challenged. Well, I think what makes us unique is 2 aspects of our business. We just have the best men. These projects practically can run themselves without a whole lot of direction from me because the people that I've been lucky enough to hire on in the last 15 years are all self-motivated. They have more pride in getting this thing done than I could ever instill in them from any other monetary or complaining or whining or anything else. They're simply grown men that know how to do a job, and they take it upon themselves to get it done. And there's not many companies I know of any size that have those kind of individuals working for them, and we're lucky enough to have about a dozen of such guys, and I don't see anybody anywhere that can match them.